Hey, this is Nick. I'm going to show you how to use the Vlookup or merge queries on Power BI. Also, at the end of this video, I made flashcards that summarize all the steps, in case if you want to know it faster or check it out for future reference. Let's get started. We have one Excel called Inventory, which contains a country column and an inventory column. We also have another Excel called ID, and this one also has the country column and an ID column. What we want to do is to bring in the ID column from the ID Excel into the inventory table. And in Excel, we use Vlookup. And in Power BI, we use merge queries. And this video tells you exactly how to use it on Power BI. First, we need to connect two Excel files into Power BI in the normal way. Nothing fancy. The idea is to create a table called inventory in the Power BI, which is connecting to the inventory Excel file. And also another table called ID in Power BI that is connected to the ID Excel. Step 2 is to open up the Power Query Editor as you are seeing right now, and make sure we select the inventory table you just created for the inventory Excel file. Because our inventory Excel is the primary one and the ID is the secondary one, and we're bringing in the country ID column from the secondary one into the primary Excel file. That's why we selected the inventory table as the primary on Power BI. And then you want to click on Home, and then Merge Queries. You can see the inventory table is already selected as the primary table. And down here at the drop-down menu, we want to select the ID table, which is for the secondary table. And then we click on the country column in both inventory and ID table. This way is basically telling Power BI that the country column is the common column that exists in both tables, and is telling Power BI to use it to do the Vlookup. And you can see that both columns, once selected, are grayed out, meaning we have successfully told Power BI that which columns to be used for the Vlookup. And then click on OK. And the next step is to click on this little icon on the upper right corner of the new column, and make sure you select Expand. And down here, you can see all the columns from the ID table are listed here. And then only select the country ID column, because that's exactly what we want to do to add it into the inventory table. And we do not want to add in the country column again, because we already have it. And click on OK. And that's done. We did the Vlookup by using the merge query function on Power BI. And click on File, Close, and Apply. That closes out the Power Query Editor, and all the changes are synchronized on Power BI Desktop as well. And the very last step is to do a table chart. You can see that on Power BI Desktop, the new column Country ID is already added under the Country table. You can bring all the three columns now, and that's exactly what we want to do for the Vlookup. And here are the flashcards I made that summarize all the steps I just talked about. Feel free to pause the video, take screenshots, and save them somewhere for future reference. Thank you.